素直に I love you 届けようきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に似合うガラスの靴を探そう二人で Step and Go いつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって君は僕の愛しい24時間シンデレラ
This game has ruined me. When I was 75 hours into it, I had made a script for this video that I thought was pretty decent. It sure as hell cut out a lot of things that are probably considered important in a review of a game that could take you over 100 hours to finish. But another 10 hours of gameplay later, note this is after me only completing 2 more chapters, I ended up recording me reading my initial script. Once that was done, I finally got to work on editing the whole thing together and finished up the shitpost of an intro you just saw before I thought to myself, I should get some more clips to put in this so I'm not reusing footage when I'm saying things that don't have any specific tie-in to a stupid joke I made.
Mysterious syringe. Let's see what this does. I think I just gave him AIDS.
So, naturally, I hopped onto my PS5 to play a little more and get some footage that could tie into parts of my previous script. 20 hours later, I've not only beaten the game, but also beat both of the secret bosses after...
Period.
a lot of pain. So, here I am, after having beaten the game and barely keeping myself from starting to on it. Let's get started. Yakuza 0 is the first game chronologically in the Yakuza series, a franchise that's been around since the PS2 era with 8 main games and 4 spin-offs, 2 of which haven't been released in the West. 0 through 6 focus on Kazuma Kiryu, the biggest Chad ever found in a video game, but I've only played 0 so far, so let's dial it back a bit. In Yakuza 0, you start out watching a man get his ass beat by our first playable character, Kazuma Kiryu. Later on, you find out he's been killed and you're the main culprit. You then get yourself kicked out of the Dojima family and sent into the streets of Kamurocho in order to prove your innocence in what ends up being a massive conspiracy. Later on, you are put in the shoes of the second main character, Goro Majima, as he runs the Cabaret Grand in order to buy his way back into the Shimano family. He is then given the proposition to kill someone, and if he can do that, then he'll be allowed back in. A ways down the line, the goals of Majima and Kiryu end up intersecting. But there won't be any spoilers here, so on to what makes this game so addictive. Yakuza 0 is what some would consider a completionist's nightmare, because of how much inane and pointless crap goes into 100% completion. But the difference between Yakuza 0's inane crap for 100% and, let's say, the Arkham series, is that the stuff you do is actually really fun. Once I had completed the story, I ended up having nearly 90% completion, and after playing Mahjong once, I wasn't even trying to 100% the game.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay. Okay.
There had to be a couple dozen times where I was getting so pissed off at Pocket Circuit, the 2 rhythm games, and bowling, because I kept failing in one way or another, but I kept going. I'm in no ways a completionist, but this game genuinely made me want to become the Pocket Circuit champion, Disco King, and to have an actual live chicken named Nugget help me manage my real estate business. Now, you know how I said that all the side stuff is pointless? Well, that's not entirely true. A little while into the game, each protagonist gets their own business minigame, which is meant to supply you with an easy way to get cash in order to upgrade your different fighting styles. More on that later. Kiryu gets access to Kamurocho Real Estate Royale, where you have to go around buying businesses in order to continuously increase your cash flow. It also turns Yakuza 0 into an idle game.
じゃりんじゃりん稼ぐぜボロ儲けお前に任せガンガン稼ぐぜ
Majima gets access to the Cabaret Club Czar, where you have to manage your girls as guests come in with specific requests that you must fulfill by sending a specific girl their way. In both of them, you need to continuously work your way up to defeat a syndicate of 5 rejected JoJo villains who want to hold a monopoly in their field. Between the sub-stories you complete and friendship meters that you gradually raise over time, or grind in like 45 minutes because why not, you can gain access to more ways to help grow your business. Mostly boiling down to getting access to a building to raise your numbers or adding a new member to your team. A few notable ones being Michael Jackson, a chicken, a cougar, and a woman whose life is being threatened by a man you gave several illegal weapons to. Once you defeat the 5 head honchos, you gain access to the legend styles, Kiryu's Dragon of Dojima, and Majima's Mad Dog of Shimano. With them, you also gain the ability to increase your strength to absurd levels, and even at base, kind of trivialize combat.
I get grabbed.
I'm going to use the legend styles to segue into the rest of Yakuza 0's combat. And where better to start than with the other 3 styles Majima and Kiryu have access to. Majima and Kiryu's 3 styles each have their own special flair to them, while being centered around 3 different focuses: strength, speed, or balance of the 2. Kiryu has access to the Beast, Rush, and Brawler styles. I basically only use Beast because why not bring a notice?
Crap loser.
Majima's styles are the Slugger, Breaker, and Thug. And while Thug is pretty similar to Kiryu's Brawler, his other 2 have their own specialty, spamming the triangle button so that literally nothing can touch you. You can upgrade each style evenly, or only upgrade the one you plan on using for most of the day. You should be sure to get the health upgrades in each tree though, because they're the only way you can survive long enough to heal yourself when fighting Mr. Shakedown.
次は丈太郎貴様だやろうディオほう向かってくるのか逃げずにこのディオに近づいてくるのか近づかなきゃてめえをぶちのめせないんでなほうほうでは十分近づくがよい
You're first introduced to these 4 towering Goliaths pretty early in the game, and they are forces to be reckoned with. Without enough upgrades, it's easy to get killed in one hit by these guys. And if you lose to them, you lose every last N you've earned. That is, unless you're holding a security wallet or saved before fighting them. There is, however, one completely foolproof solution to defeating them.
The answer is a gun. And if that don't work, use more gun.
Once you've upgraded your abilities a fair bit, completed all the sub-stories, and are standing just outside the entrance to the final battle, you are faced with the hardest challenges of the Yakuza series. Defeating So and Joe Amo, each with unique quirks that will test your skill in combat. Or you can just take the zap gun to them like Mr. Shakedown and hoard sacrifice stones. And that's all I've got to say. Yakuza 0 was my first foray into the series, and I absolutely loved it. I already have Kiwami in my library, and I'm struggling on deciding whether to play that for its 100 hours, or get Cyberpunk and Final Fantasy VII out of the way so they don't just collect dust on my shelf. Nevertheless, I thank you for watching this video, and I hope that I'll see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.